Good morning, everyone. Welcome, welcome. What a beautiful day. Happy springtime. Let's start our service this morning with song. Let's sing together.
Welcome to the Salt Lake Center for Spiritual Living, where we're so very glad to have you dancing here in the room with us or dancing at home in your PJs in our online sanctuary. My name is Linda Brewer, and I always am so grateful to have the privilege of welcoming all of you. Love streamers, please share where you are and your name so that you all can connect with each other while we're here hugging each other to pieces. Our practitioners serving in today's service are Teresa Martin, sharing a reading, a time of sacred silence, and leading us in prayer. And Therrell Hinckley over there holding high watch, knowing throughout this service that the best and highest is unfolding as we share this sacred time together. Our center is a spiritual community that teaches a philosophy for daily living based on spiritual principles and practices that are universal among religions. We honor every pathway by which people seek to know and connect with the divine, and we work on our individual consciousness so that we can help make the world a better place. So as we recommit to that, join me please in saying our purpose statement. We are an open, welcoming community, celebrating our divinity, loving our humanity, and nurturing our journeys of spiritual discovery. Thank you. Our theme for this month is Your Sacred Yes, and I'm so excited to welcome back as our guest speaker today, the amazing Rev Verona Garland, whose talk title today is Hear All Good, See All Good, Know All Good. And our special music today is our dear friend Dallas Brown, who has a birthday on Wednesday. I am so glad you were born and that you come here and share your healing music with us. Today, following the service, Reverend Verona, or Rona, or whoever you are, will be guiding us through an awesome workshop experience designed to help us each learn how to excavate our divine purpose. She will assist us in discovering the what, where, and when of how to dig deeply into who we were created to be. You can sign up at the hospitality table outside in the hallway after the service, then join us downstairs for a light lunch in the classroom before we get out our shovels and start digging. So last night, our beloved Reverend Cindy, with the help and support of her fabulous wife, Bryn, who is probably home recuperating, served a delicious homemade meal that took shape over several days of shopping, chopping, and cooking to thank and celebrate all the hardworking volunteers who do so much of the work behind the scenes and sometimes in front that keeps our center running. A special thank you went out to Drew Binkert and Teresa Flanagan for their many years of service on our Board of Trustees. Our own Raj was honored for his Rajness. And that involves always going above and beyond with his audiovisual genius, including he is the reason we are still here because of what he did during the pandemic. When we decided on Friday to close the doors, and Raj had us live streaming on Sunday, which we had never done before. And our volunteer of the year, Miss Amanda Kennedy. She was honored for her sacred service that includes and is not limited to buying the food, then brewing the coffee, and serving the treats on Sunday mornings. All of that adds the extra layer of yumminess to our Sunday morning service and gives us a good excuse to just hang out together. So thank you so much. What? She's also involved with youth services. She's being secretary of the ministry council. You name it, she's doing it. So thank you so much, Amanda. Thank you to all of you who have served. I know some of us weren't able to be there last night, but if you have served this center any time in recent years, please stand up and let's honor you. Oh, come on now, some of you are look at these people sitting here like they do nothing. And those of you who are love streaming, please write that down in the thing that you've been serving and how you've been doing that. So we are just so grateful. It is very true that it takes a village, and we could not do this without she does as much as she can and almost does herself in, but she still can't do it alone. So, all right, do we have anyone visiting today for the first time? And if so, we would love you to raise your hand so we can welcome you. All right, we've got people here. Wow, thank you so much. We are so incredibly grateful to have you here with us. And I don't know what Gene's saying, but we're going to ignore him. But if you haven't already done so, I hope you will pick up a welcome gift at the hospitality table. And we just affirm for each one of you and for everyone else here that you are going to have a blessing here this morning. And I know that's true because I know them and I know him and I know her. And it's a great day. So thank you so much. All right. In just 2 weeks, on June 1st and 2nd, we will again have a booth at the Pride Festival. We will also have a root beer float in the parade. Pride Weekend is just such an amazing, fun, and awesome way to let people know about our center. We have sign-up sheets at the hospitality table. There are several ways that you can participate. You can do a shift at our booth so that you can help the festival participants who've never heard about us learn about a spiritual alternative where they are welcome. All are welcome here. We also have places for people to walk with our fabulous float featuring our amazing band, our amazing minister and her wife. And if none of those work for you, we would be welcoming of any text-to-give gift that would help pay for the booth and the parade. The code for that is PRIDE. So lots of ways to help. And this is just a community that we want to know about us because, as you all know, there are many places in this valley where they are not welcome. So we are where they are welcome, so please. All right. As always, if you want to find out more information about what's coming up, you can do that on our website, spirituallyfree.org. You can do all kinds of things there, register for classes, pay things, give money, find out about our history, send a message, whatever you want to do, it's there and you can do that. So we've also just added a section. Our center has for many years been part of the Salt Lake Center, the Salt Lake Interfaith Roundtable, which was an organization that began during the Olympics when they were here the last time, where spiritual communities got together, and we've been getting together ever since then. And so we now have a section where you can see some of the things other folks in the roundtable are doing. So check that out. And you can also find out what's happening at our hospitality table outside. But there's one thing that you can find out there that you can't find out on the website. And that is that we have, starting today, thank you, our bidding on Food, Fun, and Friends. Oh my gosh. I thought it was great last year. We've got even more great events this year. So what you do is you sign up there to get a bidder number, and then the sheets are out, I assume. And you can bid on all these events. The last bids will be June the 9th. And then the winners will be announced the next Sunday on Father's Day. So if any of you want to buy a gift for your father, bid on a gift. And if you put a little note that it's a Father's Day present, we'll secretly tell you so you can make sure your dad is here when we announce that you won a gift for them. So, okay? All right. I know that it sounds like, because I know how many pages more than normal were in this today, that all we do here is do. But that's not true. Because the real foundation of our center is prayer. That's what grounds us, that's what founded us, and that's what keeps us going. And sometimes things go on in our lives that we need other people to know for us because we're in the thick of it and can't know it for ourselves. And that's what our prayer practitioners are here to do. So anybody wearing one of these is a practitioner, and at least 2 of them will be in the room across the hall after the service. And if anything's going on in your life, please go let them pray for you, pray with you, and know for you what you can't know for yourself right now until you can accept it for your own self, okay? So, right now, in order to prepare for Teresa's reading, a time of sacred silence, and then her prayer, I invite you to settle in and allow the beautiful centering music to connect you with that spirit that lives within you.
Here I am, a vessel to be used. Whatever spirit calls me to,
good is forever expressing itself as I seek and find the best in life. As I recognize the ever-present good that surrounds me and trust the law that brings everything good into my life, I am empowered to know and behave as though what I experienced as something wrong yesterday has been transformed into something new and better today. Today is a fresh beginning, a new start, a joyous adventure on the pathway of continuous progress. Today is bright with hope and happy with fulfillment as I affirm that this is the day that God has made and that it is good and that I find fulfillment in it. There is an infinite power in me that is making everything in my life simple, effective, and whole. It has arranged every circumstance so that success and happiness will come from it. And that divine within me, through me, and is bringing me love and confidence for everyone that I meet. Blessing everything I touch, while offering peace, comfort, and joy in my world. In every thought, in every deed, in every act, I am sustained by an infinite power and guided gently into an ever-increasing good for myself and for others. We will now go into a little silence for a couple of moments, a sacred silence, to consider that. It is with deep gratitude that I claim my good. I claim all that I deserve and that I feel in this wondrous place of aliveness, of goodness, of beauty. This fantastic life that allows itself before us, that allows me to breathe, allows us all to breathe here in this sacred space, loving space, the space of worship for that which is good and whole and perfect. I bless all on this day who have attributed everything. I attribute everything to who and what they are, what they do, their service, their goodness, their volunteering, for everyone that has made this wonderful service today. I bless each and every one in their day to day, in their week, and what is happening in their lives, good or bad. And as I claim the good in my own life, there is good all around. There is wonder, there is beauty. I would give thanks for all of this as we go on our way and listen to the beautiful music, the wonderful service, lovely talk of Reverend Garland, and for all the beauty that is here this day, for this beautiful Sunday, sunny day, and for all that happens this day. It is all good and very good. And as I say this, I give thanks. As together we say, and so it is.
Thank you, Teresa. We let Delanne take a day off today to do some family things. And I'm just so grateful for Shemaine stepping in to fill that voice. Yeah. And thanks again to Mark Cheney stepping in for Ricardo today. Anyway, Shemaine got a card for Ricardo. It's in a blue envelope. You'll see it, I think, on the table. We'd love to send him a group hug via a card. So if you see that, please take time to write just a little sentiment to Ricardo. I know he'll be back soon, but I can't wait to hear Rev Verona's talk today. To hear the good and see the good and know the good, to see and know with those listening ears and those listening eyes and the listening mind. Be open to that. Let's sing together the call, which works beautifully into the sacred yes this beautiful month. Let's sing together.
You'll remember this is the song that Rick and I wrote for Cindy when she first came.
I'm on my path, filling my cup. I know it's right, 'cause it lights me up. After a while, I begin to hear a higher call, soft but clear. I didn't know I had a question, but I swear my heart said yes. There's something tugging at the sleeve of my soul, but what I could only guess. So I stop, listen, vision and pray. That's how I got to where I am today. When I answer the call, I give my all, expressing God, mind, body, and soul. Times when I wasn't so sure, was I up to the task? My motives pure. I listen closely to the divine, my heart wide open, my stars align. It's another chance to serve the divine, another chance to grow. If I just say yes to the next best thing, the next thing I know, I'm on my path, yeah, 'cause it's I know it's right, 'cause it lights me up. I open my heart and let it in, excitement rising again and again. Didn't know I had a question, but I swear my heart said yes. There's something tugging at the sleeve of my soul, so I listen with faithfulness. Give my all, no turning back. Ain't no question, I'm on the right track. I share what I learn, continue to grow. See only the best in the people I know. I'm on my path, filling my cup. Yeah, I know it's right, 'cause it lights me up. I'm on my path, filling my cup. I know it's right, 'cause it lights me up.
It's my pleasure to introduce our special music today. You know, I found the cure for road rage. It's called Dallas Brown Flute Medicine. In your car, just slip that CD in, bliss out. He's got some great recordings in the foyer for sale. Take advantage of that. It's for any kind of meditation you want to do. He's got the music to back that up. Just an amazing talent and beautiful sound and a multitude of flutes. Let's bring up Dallas Brown.
Thank you, Dallas. Hello. There we go. Thank you, Dallas. Always such a great way to start our service, to open our hearts, to let the message come through. So it's a great pleasure and privilege of mine to introduce you to Reverend Verona Garland. So I forgot the official bio. Well, it's in the office somewhere. But this is what I want to say about Reverend Verona Garland. She's a woman of God, first and foremost. She is someone that expresses God through her excitement, through her words, through her voice, through all that she does and all that she is. She's my sister. She's my friend. In the past, at other spiritual communities, we were co-conspirators, so to speak. We always had fun together. And we still do. And isn't that just like a friend? Sometimes we might not talk for a few months, and when we talk, it's just like we never missed a beat. And that's what I was saying to her this morning in my office. It feels like we've always been together. We haven't missed a day. But what I want you to just tune into is, first of all, she's of high energy. She's always very excited to bring the word, to share what Spirit has downloaded through her and as her. And sometimes in that excitement, it might be, wow, what's this energy? Close your eyes, open your heart, listen from the inside, and you will receive a blessing today and leave these doors a different person, transformed. Reverend Verona, it's all yours.
Good morning. And I want to say good morning, love streamers. Thank you for getting up with your tea or coffee, even if you're still in your PJs, and joining us here. And thank you to all of you who join us later on at some other point in time. So I want to tell you, Reverend Cindy, my sister, my friend, and what she didn't tell you when she introduced me is that we have been through it together. There is no friendship where it's all wonderful and butterflies and love and frolicking together. Reverend Cindy and I have taught each other things. And we also, Reverend Cindy is one of the few people on the planet who I can come to at any time for anything and be my true self. So it takes a woman of God to know a woman of God. So thank you, Reverend Cindy. So here we are. You're sacred, yes. Yes, and what came through me for this time together is hear all good, see all good, know all good. So we'll get into that a little bit more. However, I always like to start with some sort of a giggle, because for me, my enlightenment and my growth and unfoldment in spirit sometimes has taken on a rather serious tone. Sometimes I can be very serious about, did I meditate? Did I journal? Did I contemplate? Did I vision? And what I find is that if I allow myself to remember there is no duality in spirit and that it's two sides of the same coin. So the seriousness comes together with the giggles. So I'd like to start with a little giggle. So there was a stranger who approached the minister after a service at a spiritual center. And this stranger said, I'd like you to pray for my hearing. So the minister took her hands, put them over the person's ears, and really gave like the spiritual mind treatment of the ages. Prayed and prayed and prayed, and then took her hands off, his or her hands off, and said, how's your hearing now? And the person said, well, my hearing's not till tomorrow, but I appreciate the prayer. Yes, it's all in how we deliver it, isn't it? So I'd like to start with some definitions. And first, the definition of good. There are so many definitions of good. Raj is going to switch me to the hand mic. All right. Okay. Now we don't have any little wobble going on. Thank you, Raj. The definition of good. It could be a lot of things. But for me, the first definition of good came as God. I mean, God is good is God, is all the same thing. However, there are some other definitions of good, and some of the other definitions of good are kind, valuable, agreeable, pleasing, and beneficent. That's what good means to me. So I'd like to give you a second, close your outer eyes, and figure out what good means to you. Just one or two words. And once you have those words, I'd like you to speak them out. Freedom, joyful, happy. That's all good means in this room of the goodness of the divine? Fun. Thank you, Jerry. Full, love, yeah. There are so many ways that we can define good. It is almost undefinable because it is all that there is. The goodness of God is all that there is. It's everywhere present. So this whole thing of hear, see, and know. So I thought, okay, let's delineate these words. So when I hear, it's to listen and take heed. However, in my life, I can allow myself to not hear. I can allow myself to have no sense or feeling of hearing. And what I mean by that is, I'm going to use an example of my father. He must be here in the room. He's in the next realm. My father had hearing aids. And so my mother would be in the kitchen cooking something to eat. My father would be in the family room watching something. My mother would be talking to my father about something that she was serious. You know where I'm going with this. My father would turn off his hearing aids. All the time would turn off his hearing aids. And then my mother would leave the kitchen, come out and say, "Did you hear what I was saying?" And my father would say, "Oh, you were talking to me?" and this was when I was an adult already, and it always impressed me like, oh, so he can hear just what he wants to hear, nothing else. Yeah, so we can be in a place in life sometimes when sometimes I may choose to not hear the inner voice, because our inner voice is chatting with us at all times. First, there's that inner roommate in there, that Eckhart Tolle, I think it is, speaks about, that's always giving us the human effects. All those things going on. I'm not this, I'm not that, I can't that. And then there's the intuitive voice that when I allow myself to become still, allow myself to sink into the stillness, that voice is always talking to us. So this is an opportunity when we're talking about the two sides of the coin of spirit. I can hear or I can choose to not hear. I can really choose to not hear. I don't know about you, but several times I've been in my car before we all used GPS. I'm driving someplace, and my inner voice says, "Turn there, Verona." But the human part of me, my ego says, "Oh, no, we're going this way." Well, of course, need I say. I get to where I'm going and realize, it would have been better to have turned in that place where my inner voice said, "Just turn on the signal and turn your automobile." So this is the first part of hearing. Hearing the goodness of the divine. The second definition is seeing. And for me, I decided that seeing, and these are definitions that I've decided on so that we can be on the same page, because I want you to know that we are co-creating here together. Yes, I am the one up here. Yes, I am the one with the iPad. Yes, I am the one with the notes. Yes, like our wonderful Reverend Cindy, I happen to be one of the ones with the REV in front of my name. However, none of this could happen without the co-creation of all of us here together, because each one of our presences comes together in a cohesiveness in the consciousness of the divine and brings it all together. So, as we move on, the seeing, what's come through me is the seeing. To see is to view, to ascertain, and this is a big one, to understand emotionally and to consider. So seeing is to view. I mean, we have these things called eyeballs, and we see with them. They're so complicated and such wonderful mechanisms that our body temple lets us use without us even asking. I mean, when you think about it, our eyelids open up without her even saying to them, open up now, eyelids. Well, sometime in the morning for me, when it's really early, when it's like 5:45. And I am a morning person. I was like, okay, open eyelids, open up. We're awake, we're awake. However, we get to see everything, and we get to ascertain, and we get to be in a place of seeing our emotional goodness, our emotional wealth, our emotional prosperity, our emotional abundance that's already in us. Because that seeing is part of the feeling tone. Because we get to actually see what's going on within us, through us, and around us. Now, the other side of seeing is to be in a place of sightlessness or visionlessness. You know what it says, without the vision, the people will prosper. It says that in the Bible. I can't tell you exactly where, but it does. So we get to be in a place of standing in our vision, of actually seeing that is ours to know, to be, to embody, to embrace, to express, and so much more. So onward to knowing. It's the knowingness, and knowing is to be cognizant, aware of, acquainted with, or have a clear perception of. All those things all fit together in the knowingness. However, in our knowingness, we can also misinterpret, or we can have forgetfulness. Now, Reverend Cindy and I were just talking about memory. And in this day and age, we hear a lot, don't we, about memory. I hear a lot about memory. And I have decided that all those things I hear about memory do not have any significance in the life of spirit that expresses itself as me. And the reason I say that is what I concentrate on shows up. So this is just a little divergent. Okay, spirit, we're going there. If I concentrate on not having memory, guess what shows up? No memory. I mean, it's a real easy law of the universe. So we can allow ourselves to be in a place of forgetfulness, that is to say, forgetting who and whose we are, forgetting what we are. Because as we were talking about this morning in the meditation service, and thank you, Pharaoh, for the meditation service, as we were talking about in the meditation service, we are the epitome of the divine. I am the epitome of the divine. There is no other bespoke, unique, and spectacular and splendiferous way that spirit shows up other than myself. Yes, each one of us. Yes, the person I look at in the mirror when I'm brushing my teeth, or when I'm looking to see, oh, the wrinkles don't look like I think they do. Or, which is a funny joke I have with myself. Or the person I'm looking at to say every morning, I most truly and definitely and unabashedly love you. Yes, every morning when we're looking at ourselves in the mirror, we can be in a place where we know this is our truth, in a place where we accept that there's no forgetfulness and no misinterpretation. And I'd like to share with you what Khalil Gibran says, which is, your living is determined not so much by what happens to you as by the way your mind looks at what happens. Yeah, think about that. Just let that soak in. Your living is determined not so much by what happens to you, but by the way your mind looks at what happens. We get to allow ourselves to know that. So I'd like to share a story with you about catfish and codfish. You're probably thinking, what is with this girl? Catfish and codfish. Well, I am from an agricultural place. I am from the great state of Iowa. However, and I haven't lived there in a long time, I must be transparent. However, and my grandparents had a farm, and I did learn how to fish with my maternal grandfather. He used to take me out, and he'd say, okay. And this was a big, humongous thing for me. He would say, Verona, sit still. No laughing, no talking, no jumping, no carrying on and on, which, as you can tell, for me was quite, it was quite an accomplishment. It was quite a challenge. But anyway, this story is about catfish and codfish. So I found out about this. Years ago, the codfish industry in the northeast part of the United States, maybe in Massachusetts, but the codfish industry, they were having a challenge shipping their codfish to other parts of the country. Okay, and what the challenge was, when they shipped the codfish around, they froze the codfish, okay? And when they got where they were going, of course, they lost their flavor. We've all had frozen fish. They lost their flavor, and they put them live in a saltwater tank. When they did that, they got soft and mushy. And so they're thinking, what do we do? How do we do this? So someone went within and listened and decided, aha, here's the solution. They put catfish in the tank with the codfish. Now, what does that mean? Catfish are a natural enemy to codfish. So here they are now transporting these fish, and so that the codfish were moving the whole time. They were in the saltwater tank, but in their transportation, because the catfish were in there, they were moving the whole time. They arrived in better condition at their destination than they had ever arrived before. So what does this mean? You're thinking, oh, what does this mean? The thing is, we may have catfish in our lives that really help us to know good, see good, and hear good. Yes, there may be catfish in our lives that sometimes here in metaphysician land, we might call them noble friends, which is someone who brings me up to my highest and greatest. The catfish in our lives is something that brings us to the place of hearing all good, seeing all good, knowing all good. Now, this to me sounded like a very strange thing. However, it worked. It worked, and the codfish industry figured out that this is exactly what was helping them. It gave them success in moving their fish across the country. And they probably even put them on some airplanes, but this is what they did. So the way this helps with our sacred yes, or how it brings out our sacred yes, is, can I say the sacred yes to seeing the goodness, knowing the goodness, and hearing the goodness in the catfish parts of my life? Yeah, they're all catfish parts of all of our lives. There are Okay, I'm going to give you an example of a catfish part of my life. In February, I had the honor of going to Kenya, and I had not been to Mother Africa. I had not been on the continent. I didn't know. I had no idea how sacred it is there. I had no idea what it felt like to be on a continent of people who looked like me and loved me for exactly who I am. And I had no idea of the vibration and the consciousness of Mother Africa, the sub-Saharan part of Africa. Okay, however, when I was going to Kenya, I went to Nairobi for a CSL conference. When I was going there, on the way there, my daughter who went with me, my lovely daughter who went with me to accompany me because I was presenting at the conference, and I apologize. And she said to me, Mom, you're getting to do what God put you here to do, and I want to be there to witness it with you. So we're on our way to the conference. We go through London first because we both love London. We go through Heathrow. We go through London. We get there. We stay in this lovely little boutique hotel. We get to the hotel, and my daughter says to me, I don't feel good. We had made plans to go to our favorite restaurant in London. She says to me, I don't feel good. And I can't do anything. I just have to stay in the hotel, take some medicine, and curl up in the bed. And so we're here for 24 hours to do fun things together, and Mom, I'm not doing any of them. You're on your own. Now, I have been to London probably, 75 times. So it's not like I don't know what to do in London. However, all of a sudden, the catfish in my life showed up. Here I had this lovely, wonderful, magnificent trip planned, and it started out with London. And here now, the person who I thought was going to hang out with me and do fun things with me, she had the nerve to be sick. She had the audacity to take care of herself and tell me, I need to stay in the hotel. So that's an example of like how the catfish in my life showed up. What did I do? Of course, I slept for 2 hours, took a shower, got up, put on my clothes, and hit the streets of London. Spent a lot of fun time in London and went to my favorite restaurant. I was able to invite a friend of mine who was in London, who I didn't know she was going to be there, invite her to have dinner with me. So it all worked out wonderfully. It worked out wonderfully, but that's an example of how the catfish in our lives can really, I got a chance to see the good, know the good, hear the good. So there are some techniques we can use, though, for being in this place of saying the sacred yes, being in this place of the vibrational embrace of these things. Because, thank goodness for science of mind and spiritual technology. Yes, because there are all sorts of techniques we can always use to bring ourselves back to the divinity, back to the sacredness that each of us is while we navigate the journey of life. Because when I incarnated here, you incarnated here, they incarnated here, we all made a contract with the divine. And we all said, I like to think of it as like it was our own special Whole Foods. And we're in the divine Whole Foods, and we say, okay, Spirit, I'll take that lesson. Oh, I'll take that lesson. Oh, yeah, I'll take that lesson. So here we are here. We chose all of our lessons. We've chosen our journey. However, there is spiritual technology that we can use for our journey. So there are 3 things that we can do, and we are at choice. We are at choice to use these things. So the first thing is we get to accept and expect. I get to accept and expect. And Ernest Holmes says, today I accept and expect only good. I am one with God, and God is one with me. Think about if you started every day by saying that. Ooh, all I can think of, all the wonderful things that could happen. I accept and expect only good. Okay, the second technology that we can use is praise and thanksgiving. Yeah, we can be in a place of praise and thanksgiving. And Ernest also says, I'm on a first-name basis with Ernie, aren't you? We do a lot of learning from him. So Ernie also says, the finding joy in everything. Finding joy in everything. Praise and thanksgiving of everything. Praise and thanksgiving of all the things in our lives. Praise and thanksgiving of the catfish situations in our lives. Praise and thanksgiving of everything. And by that, I mean really, really, really praising it, you know, just praising. Well, I have something to praise. I have siblings, and up until about a month ago, my siblings were not speaking to each other. And so, of course, you know, the minister here, I'm praying. And so they have now, about a month ago, they decided to reconcile. However, before they decided to reconcile, in that situation, I was constantly giving praise and thanksgiving. Praising God for what was unfolding and giving thanksgiving for knowing that it all turns out in the perfect order. And I don't mean the gratitude of thanksgiving. There's a difference between gratitude and thanksgiving. Okay, and we know that from our spiritual mind treatment. But gratitude is just gratitude for like, whoa, we're here today. We can rejoice and be glad in this day. Thanksgiving is the knowingness that the word I have spoken is already happening. It is already unfolding. It's already manifesting. So I was already giving praise and thanksgiving for my sweet siblings, knowing that the how had nothing to do with me. I want to diverge a little bit here. I want to tell you, I had a lot of ideas about the how, okay? In my humanness, I had a lot of ideas about the how. And some of the ideas about the how was, they live in a different state than I do. Some of the ideas about the how was I thought, well, I'll just get on the plane, and I'll go there, and I'll tell them each we're going to go to dinner, but not tell the other one, and then they'll show up at the dinner. Well, Spirit let me know that that might make for a very combustible meal, and that it wasn't, really, Spirit let me know, Verona, the how doesn't have anything to do with you. It's just being in a place of praise and thanksgiving. And this is the important part, is the praise and thanksgiving before it happens. The praise and thanksgiving in the midst of it all. The praise and thanksgiving. So that's the second spiritual technology. The third spiritual technology is from Neville Goddard. And Neville Goddard, I love Neville Goddard, and he was taught by a wonderful spiritual teacher named Ibrahim. And so Neville Goddard says, the world manifests our concepts. First, think about that. The world manifests our concepts. So whatever concepts I have within me, the world is manifesting it. You know, I don't know if you know, Joe Dispenza also says that our cells are listening to every single thing we think and making it happen. Our cells are eavesdropping on our inner conversations. Ooh, think about that. The inner conversations we're having and making it all happen. Anyway, Neville says, the world manifests our concepts, and we get to arrange our mind in the image of all that I believe and consent to as true. So the third spiritual technology is believe and consent. Believe it and consent to it. Believe in whatever I think is true and consent to it, which is I believe and I say sacred yes. And I say my sacred yes either in quiet and stillness and just in the Zen part of my life, Or I get to live my life by saying, yes, 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 Spirit. Yes, 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 Spirit. In all things and in all ways, in our own inimitable way. I mean, this is my way. I am so enthused with God that this is my way. However, we get to, it's a spiritual technology to believe in it and consent to it. Believe in whatever it is you want, because you probably know this. However, every single desire you have is a desire from the heart of the divine. There is no desire that we have that is not already foundationed in the possibilities and the strengths and the viabilities and all of those things of the divine. You know, if I have a desire and it really is in my heart and it keeps speaking to me all the time, it's Spirit speaking. Is Spirit tapping me on the shoulder or tapping me on the head? Or sometimes in my case, is Spirit hitting me with the spiritual 2x4 and saying, Miss Verona or Reverend Verona, this is what I want to happen through you. That it can only come through as it comes through you. Reverend Cindy, as you know, you all love her, so I love her. There's things that can happen only through Reverend Cindy. There's things that can happen only through each and every one of us. And we get to be in a place of believing that. I mean, truly, really, unequivocally believing I am that I am. I am what God is. I am cherished, adored, loved, and delighted in by and as the divine. I mean, letting ourselves really, really, really know that. And there's a little part in each one of us, it's called the little child in us, that already knows this. There's that little part in each one of us that already knows this. And it doesn't matter how many decades have gone by since we were children, that person is still there. So if I give myself an opportunity, a chance even, to believe and consent, then, as Neville says, the world manifests our concepts. You know, whatever I think, it shows up and it shows out. So the way this is working in my life, this spiritual technology actually showed up this week. I was being with this. I was knowing these truths. I was, knowing what Ernest says, I accept and expect all good, everything is good. And Wednesday evening of this week, I got sick. I was at home. I was cleaning up my house and I thought, oh, I think I don't feel good, which is unusual for me. So I just thought, okay, all right, just, get things cleared up and go to bed. When I got in the bed, it was real clear to me, you don't feel good, girlfriend. Things are going on. And so aside from allowing myself to take care of this body temple, the human part of me, by drinking water and making my bed all comfy, these three spiritual technologies kicked in because this dis-ease that I was having was Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Okay, so I decided that I would accept and expect only good. I just kept saying, okay, Spirit, I don't know what this is about, but there's good someplace in here. I'm not quite clear. You're not making it clear to me, oh divine one, but there is good in this someplace, and I expect some good out of this. Now, the goodness that I got, too, is I realized there's a lot of good. I'm in my own house. I'm by myself. I have access to all the facilities in my home. I have access to water. I have access to all sorts of things. So I expected and accepted the good. The second thing was I did praise and thanksgiving, and the praise and thanksgiving really turned out as I get to see my girlfriend, Reverend Cindy, on Saturday. I am whole, perfect, and complete. My body is revitalized. I praise that, and I give thanks for that. I'm speaking the word, Spirit. I praise it, and I give thanks for it. And the third one, the belief and consent, I decided to believe that despite the human appearances, this body temple is following the divine mind, and the divine mind knows only perfection. The perfection of the one power and the one presence. Now, part of what happened in that was I got to understand and know and decide modern medical science is part of that. Hey, God is in everything. There is a time for taking care of myself in the natural way and what I call the old-fashioned ways, the ways my grandmother Verona taught me. However, in the midst of any sort of over-the-counter medicine, God is. So I gave myself an opportunity to ask for help and to allow someone to go out and get something for me and bring it to my house. And guess what? What a concept. Take the medicine. Yeah, take the medicine, believe, and consent to the healing that's going on in my body, so that I was able to get up Saturday morning and be driven to the San Francisco airport with a smile on my face and absolute joy in my heart that I get to be here with this lovely congregation with my wonderful friends, Reverend Cindy and Bryn, and be the purpose that Spirit brought me here for. Be the truth of who and what I am, what we are all participating in here today together. Be the messenger, open up to the message, and surrender. Surrender to that which is the highest and greatest good for me. So there's a verse in Romans, the 12th chapter, the 21st verse, and it says, do not be overcome by evil, inversion of the internal good, but overcome evil with good. Now, I know that in metaphysics, we don't really get into the biblical evil, and I could say it that way because I was raised a Southern Baptist. So my interpretation is that just don't be overcome by the catfish situations in our life. You know, just allow ourselves to turn it around and overcome every single one of those situations with good. Good is unlimited, it is ceaseless, it is infinite, it is eternal, and it is what happens at the end of your, I saying the sacred yes. Let's pray. Mother, Father, God, I am so grateful. I am so grateful to know, to accept, to understand that there is but one power, one presence, one being, one essence, one substance. One. How grateful I am to know that this oneness expresses itself in all that there is, in the beautiful blue sky of today, in all the myriad of leaves on the trees, in every grain of sand on the beach of every ocean, of every piece of water on the planet. This oneness that is eternal and immortal, this oneness that is omnipresent, omniactive, omni-loving, omniscience, and so much more. And how glorious it is to remember and recognize that this oneness expresses itself in, through, and as me. I am the sacred place and space where Spirit stands forth as itself. I am that I am. And since I am that, every single one of us here is that I am. Every single one of us here is an expression of the Most High. Every single one of us here is the delight of the divine. How wonderful it is to know this, to accept this, to understand this, to embrace and embody this truth. How glorious it is to speak the word. And so I declare and know right here and right now that the goodness of Spirit, the goodness of Allah, Buddha, Olodumare, Jehovah Jireh, all those words, all the essence, that goodness makes itself known in, through, and as each one of us in our knowing, our hearing, our seeing the goodness, in our awareness of the goodness, knowing that the goodness of God is absolutely present in, through, and as every one of us in this sacred moment, that goodness is absolutely the twin of the sacred yes, that the sacred yes shows up and goodness says, oh, yes, 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 we are here, we are ready, we are the divinity of this beloved. And I also speak a word for Mother Earth, and I declare and know that as we open ourselves to more and more love, that the love we have for Mother Earth heals her, soothes her, and brings her to her fullest and her highest and her greatest. Knowing that as we love ourselves from that interior font of lovingness, that it pours forth onto and through and as Mother Earth, and it pours forth on into all the beings on the planet. And I also speak a word and I declare and know every place on the planet where there is war, where there is conflict, where there is fighting, in the midst of it all, God is. The strength, the might, the majesty, the love, the compassion, the forgiveness of the divine reigns supreme despite the human appearances. Because I know that there's more than enoughness all over the planet. There is more than enough love. There is more than enough compassion. There is more than enough understanding. There is more than enough over the entire planet for all that is, ever was, and ever will be. And so I declare and know that all is well, that all is well in each one of our lives. I declare and know that for each one of us, divine, infinite prosperity, abundance, and source and supply brings us health, wealth, love, compassion, forgiveness, joy, mercy, beauty, artistry, harmony, and grace. That grace that is our sufficiency in, through, and as all things, that our lives are held in a continuous container of grace. So I give thanks. I give thanks for the word spoken. I give thanks for praise and thanksgiving. I give thanks for acceptance and expectancy. I give thanks for believing and consenting, knowing that it is all good, it is all God, and it is all done right here and right now in divine, right, and perfect order. I give thanks. I surrender. I release. I leave it in the law, and I let it be. And so it is. Amen. Ashe. Aho.
I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all.
And now the ushers will be bringing the baskets, and I'd like to invite you to give from your heart. Give from the place that you have been given, knowing that we cannot outgive God, and there is no big or small in spirit. So whether you give virtually, whether you give in this room, knowing that your giving is blessed, your giving is appreciated, that all the giving that you do for this CSL Salt Lake City is very appreciated. Thank you.
I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
Thank you so much, May. And all together, let's bless this circulation, which is what it is. So let's rub your hands together first. Get some energy going. Yeah. And allow yourself to reach out to the circulation, knowing that we are all interconnected in the source, supply, wealth, affluence, and prosperity of the divine. And say together, divine love as me.
Divine love as me.
Blesses this circulation.
Blesses this circulation.
It blesses all that I am.
Blesses all that I am.
All that I have.
All that I have.
All that I give.
All that I give.
And all that I receive.
And all that I receive.
Thank you, love, as me.
Thank you, love, as me.
And so it is. Amen. Ashe.
All that I need comes to me. All that I need comes to me. A light of love and grace shines upon my face. All that I need comes to me. I've been set free, I'm released. I've been set free, I'm released. The burden of my past has gone away at last. I've been set free, I'm released. All that I need comes to me. All that I need comes to me. The light of love and grace shines upon my face. All that I need comes to me. All that I need comes to me.
Let's have Dallas come back up and share some flute medicine with us. Yes. And Reverend Verona, wonderful, wonderful. Bless those catfish. Yes. Don't forget to take part in the workshop after this. We have some food and some yummy message. Also, I wanted to say after that, you could go downtown and partake of the Living Traditions Festival, where Raj and Bazine are going to play at about about 3:45. That'll be wonderful. Look at all the options for the food, fun, and friends. Get a bidding number and get your name on the list. That'll be fun. Also, the Pride Parade, we're still looking for volunteers, manning booths, and maybe helping Kevin with some decorations. That'll be so fun. I can't wait. Let's stand together and sing our closing song. This puts an exclamation point on Reverend Verona's talk. I am as God created me.